She slowly turned her head, eyes wide, like someone whose entire plan had just been exposed by accident. And honestly, that was exactly what had just happened. The boardroom was too bright. That was the first thing Chloe noticed, bright enough to expose every crack in the polished mahogany table, every fingerprint on the glass water bottles, and every lie she'd ever told in the past 6 months. Across from her, Jonah Reeves, investigative journalist, professional storm cloud, and the one man she hoped would never learn the truth, was holding a thin folder, a folder she recognized. Her folder. "Chloe," Jonah said softly, which somehow felt more dangerous than if he'd shouted. "You want to explain this?" Her mouth went dry. Half of the board members were staring at her. The other half were staring at Jonah like they were watching a live episode of their favorite courtroom drama. She forced a smile. "Explain what? It's a big company. Lots of folders." Jonah didn't smile back. "This one has your signature on every page." Damn it. Her pulse started thumping hard enough to make her vision pulse with it. For months, she had carefully maneuvered through office politics, making deals, negotiating contracts, cleaning up messes left behind by people far more careless than her. She had done everything she could to hold the company together, while the CEO, her very own mentor, spiraled into chaos. And yet, here she was, exposed by a single stupid oversight. She swallowed. "Jonah, whatever you think this is, it's exactly what it looks like." Jonah flipped the folder open. His voice remained steady, but the room around them trembled with tension. Unauthorized transactions, shell vendors, money moved and hidden, and your name on every authorization line. A low murmur spread through the board. Chloe's heart hammered harder. Of course he found it. He was Jonah Reeves. He could find dirt in a sealed room with no windows. "This isn't what you think," she said again, voice cracking slightly this time. Jonah leaned in, eyes locked on hers. Not angry, not smug. Hurt. "Then tell me what it is." That look almost killed her, because she had trusted him, maybe even cared for him more than she should have, and he had trusted her too, enough to believe she wasn't the kind of person who would orchestrate fraud, which she wasn't. Not really. The CEO, Marcus Lane, had been running everything through her, asking her to sign temporary transfers, internal balancing, short-term cash flow adjustments. She had believed him. He was brilliant, charismatic, the kind of man who could convince anyone that a burning building was just a warm opportunity. She never thought he'd hang her out to dry. But now the trap was closing, and Jonah had walked right into the center of it. "Mr. Reeves," one of the board members said sharply, "is your accusation that Ms. Carter committed embezzlement?" Jonah didn't answer. He just waited for her. The silence was suffocating. Chloe exhaled slowly, gathering the pieces of her courage like broken glass. "No," she said. "My accusation is that Marcus Lane did." A collective gasp rippled across the table. Jonah's eyes widened, not in shock, but in realization. He understood instantly. She saw it in his face, the way all his calculations shifted at once. One board member scoffed. "That is a bold claim, Ms. Carter. Mr. Lane has been with this company for 20 years. And for the last 3, Chloe shot back. "He's been siphoning money through dummy vendors he created. I didn't know at first. I thought it was legitimate. But when I tried to pull back, he told me I'd be the one blamed. He positioned everything under my name. Every invoice, every transfer, every signature." The words came faster now, the dam finally breaking. "He groomed me for this role," she continued. "Not because I was talented, but because I was convenient." Jonah's jaw tightened. The room erupted into overlapping voices. Accusations, questions, disbelief. Chloe felt dizzy. She wasn't sure if she was breathing, but Jonah's voice rose above them all. "Do you have proof?" he asked quietly, but the question slammed through her like a hammer. Proof! She had spent weeks searching. She had screenshots, emails, voice notes he didn't know she had saved, enough to open a federal investigation if she wasn't crushed by the company first. "Yes," she said, "but if I bring it forward, he'll destroy me. He already tried." Jonah closed the folder with a sharp snap. "Then let me help." Her breath caught. The board murmured again. Jonah pushed his chair back and stood, slow, deliberate, like someone preparing to lift a car off a trapped person. "This company deserves the truth, and we're gonna get it. But we're doing it the right way. Chloe's gonna show you everything she has." "And why," the CFO asked, "should we trust that her sudden confession isn't just a way to redirect blame?" Jonah didn't miss a beat. Because I've been investigating Marcus Lane for months. He reached into his bag and set down his folder, and everything she just said matches my findings. The board froze. Chloe stared at him, stunned. You were investigating him? Why didn't you tell me? He shot her a look that was equal parts frustration and affection. Why didn't you tell me? Because she was scared. Because she didn't want him dragged down with her. Because she knew how dangerous Marcus could be. But none of that mattered now. Let's get this straight, the CFO said stiffly. You're telling us our CEO is a criminal and our VP was manipulated into participating? That seems convenient. It's not convenient, Chloe whispered. It's the worst moment of my life. Jonah put a hand on the table, steady, controlled. Call Marcus in, right now. Everyone tensed. After a long, heavy pause, the chairman nodded slowly. Bring him. A minute later, the door opened. Marcus Lane walked in like he owned the world. Charming smile, expensive suit, the confidence of a man who had never heard the word no in his entire career. Good morning, he said cheerfully. What's all this? Chloe's stomach twisted. Jonah stepped forward. Marcus Lane, you're being accused of orchestrating a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. Marcus blinked once, then smiled wider. Accused by whom? Jonah gestured toward Chloe. Marcus tilted his head at her. Patient, pitying, dangerous. Oh, Chloe, I told you paranoia wasn't a good look on you. Something in her cracked. No, she said, voice trembling, but stronger than it had ever been. What's not a good look on me is letting you use me as a shield while you drain this company dry. The room went silent. Marcus's eyes flickered. Just a fraction, but enough. Jonah saw it. The board saw it. And Chloe finally understood that she was no longer afraid of him. You made one mistake, she said quietly. You thought I needed you. Jonah opened his folder. Chloe opened hers, and Marcus Lane finally lost his smile.